Hi guys, Tartu Dev here, and welcome to the first building tutorial. Today we will be covering only the building basics and we'll take a look at unions. Let's say many of my fellow devs encouraged me to start making simplified building tutorials for them, and I figured that for a startup we can build a house. Let's say you want to recreate this house on Roblox Studio. The first thing you want to do is insert a part. Sorry for the low quality, guys. Then you will want to move your part where you want your house to be and scale it. And if you want to scale, move, rotate your part more smoothly, then hold Shift as you do so. Now when you have scaled your part, then you want to change the material. First you want to make it glass. Then change the color to any blue you like. Now what you're gonna do is open the properties if you don't already have it open like I do. Wait, I will close it and show you how it's opened. Then you want to change the reflection to 0.7 or more. And then you get this more realistic looking block of glass. Now you will be resizing this glass block to the same size you want your house to be. Something like this. Now make sure you go back to the home page. Now you want to insert a second part and make sure to anchor it so it will stay in place. Change the material to wood planks. Now you can change the color to white. Hold Shift and scale this part. Now scale it down so it would bring the edge very close to the glass, but not into the glass. Now scale the part around the glass exactly like I do. Duplicate it either by clicking the duplicate button or pressing Ctrl+D. And then click on Move. Hold Shift and move this part down. Now scale around the glass so the glass would look more like windows. Duplicate and move the part as far as you want the window width to be. Do it again. Now make the other parts aligned with the windows except for the most upper part. Now select everything except the most upper part, either by dragging the base plate or hold on Shift to multi-select. Then duplicate everything and move them to the other side. Select the most upper part and align it with the part on the edge of the left side windows. Now when your windows are done, you will be framing them. Duplicate a random part that is on the windows, then scale the edge of it even closer to the glass and extend the other edges out of the previous part that you duplicated, then change their material to plastic. Let's extend this even more. Then duplicate it and frame the other sides. I recommend using scale. Now that you have framed all of the windows, it's time to add a few details. Duplicate a random frame and scale it across the whole set of windows, like this. As you may have noticed, the house is glitching at some places, but we will get to that later. Now to add more detail, duplicate a random part, scale it down, change the color to black and material to wood. Duplicate that part and add it to every window's sides. Now we will be adding the roof. Insert part, but this time change the part to a wedge. Change the color to white and material to wooden planks. Now what you're going to do is duplicate and rotate the part, then move it so it would make a triangle. Select both of them and the right click and make them a union. Now the part can be stretched even as containing two separate parts. Rotate it 90 degrees and size it as a roof. Now you are going to add a new part, color it gray, and change the material to roof tiles or something else you want as the roof. Do the same on the other side. Now we are going to make the windows on the roof. Duplicate the triangle and scale it down. Insert a part and we will be using pretty much the same method on the roof's windows as we did on the house. You can duplicate the glass block from earlier. Keep in mind that we will be using the same materials as we did with the house. When framing the windows, you need to duplicate the previous frames and scale them very close to the glass. Do the same with the window details. Duplicate a random frame and resize it around the window like I did. Duplicate the roof and resize it to the smaller roof, then group it as a model and move it to the main roof. Do the same on the other side. And you can make the roof a little bit thicker on both sides. Group it as a model by selecting all of the things you want to group, right-clicking, and selecting Group as Model. Move it like I do and make sure to hold Shift while you move it. Resize if it's too large. Hold Shift while doing that. Now you can duplicate it and move it to other places. Wait, I will move it a little closer to the roof. Or sometimes you can resize the roof if it is too small. Now you can duplicate the smaller version of the house. Hold Shift and select all three of the small house versions, right-click and ungroup all of them and unite all roofs into one roof. Now if necessary, resize the triangle and the second roof part. Now we can finally begin with the front door. Duplicate the black part and place it where the door should be. Also change its material to plastic. Now if you still have your properties window open, then change the reflectance to 0.03 or 0.1. Now duplicate the black part and make it smaller and make it so the edge would be slightly above the previous part. Like this. And now change its material to wood. Now you will have to duplicate the reflective black part again and scale it, so its edge would be slightly above the black wooden part. Like this. Now you can make it more smaller and then duplicate it like I do. Now you can multi-select this and duplicate once more. And there we go. Now if you want, you can make a little door handle for some extra detail. And now to the glitch part I was talking about. Select all of the glitchy parts, right-click, and make them a union. Also, don't forget to add foundations to your house for extra detail. To do this, simply insert a new part or duplicate another, then color it gray. Then change the material to concrete. Do exactly like I do, and duplicate it to the other side. You can now also stretch the union to the other side of the roof. If necessary, you can resize the other side of the roof. Now, as a last touch, you can add a chimney. Brick material looks nice. You should also add a top to it made from cardboard or concrete and color it gray. Now, as the last thing, select all and check if everything is anchored. Let's see it in-game. And this is our first house. Thank you for watching this and see you next time.